Welcome back to AG University Podcast. It is I, your professor at Anna Grace Newell, and you guys, I am live in the Bahamas right now with my darling, dearest friend, Mimi Bouchard, who's already been on the podcast. She is the founder of Activations. You guys have heard me talk about Superhuman, and we're about to just like fuck you guys up today in the best way. Mimi's like, I'm motivated. I'm coming in hot. And if you haven't already seen, the title of this episode is called How to Manifest $1 Million. Mimi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, AG. I'm so happy to be here. We are feeling abundant. We are in the Bahamas. We are embodying our future self energy. And we were chatting yesterday about what we can do for this episode, how we can add so much value into people's lives. And we've changed our lives so much with this work. So I'm just so excited to talk about it with you.
I am also so excited and so ready. And we have really been embodying and practicing everything that we teach and preach this trip.
Yes.
We had a beautiful dinner last night. We went to the Four Seasons. We took ourselves out on a higher self date. We got dressed up. We set intentions. We were like, let's get into the frequency of what it feels like. And by the end of the night, Mimi was like, I feel like drunk on life. We were not. We were drinking mocktails. We had no alcohol, but it really is so crazy that when you tune into your energy and you make a shift, it's instant.
We've been activating all day.
We've been activating.
The whites of your eyes are clear. We're just like on another planet.
We are clear.
Yeah.
And okay, so you guys, if you haven't already listened, I believe it's episode 27. I'll link it in the show notes. Mimi came on before.
Yes.
So we'll do like a very quick summary, but we really wanted to talk about money and abundance because I want all of you guys to be the healthiest, wealthiest, richest, most baddie version of yourself. So that's why the theme was going to be money today. But since then, Mimi has shifted away from the word meditations, which is what we talked a lot about in the last episode, and it is now activations. And in my personal opinion, I have always resonated with the word activation with you because I always tell people, like when I was explaining Superhuman, I would be like, you guys, it's not a meditation. I can't explain it. It's like a hybrid. It's a pep talk. Like you're giving me like motivation. And then I like want to just run through a wall and be like, yeah, I am abundant. I am a baddie. So anyways, it's now an activation.
The activation word came to me because I was in this energy, embodying my abundant self, really thinking, what is the future of this business? Because this business is me, it's my baby. And we launched as a meditation app, but every single time I would talk about these meditations or these audios, I would say, but you guys, it's so different to other meditations out there. It's not even a meditation app. It's like these audios are different. You can listen to them whenever. They're not about silent sitting. And that made me realize that I had to change the name. If I wanted to go more global with this company, I knew I had to change the name because meditation is for clearing your mind, calming your spirit, relaxing your body, and thinking about nothing. But activation is to invigorate your soul. Activations help you become your future self. There's different music. It's for different situations. It's a completely different type of audio. So with activations, we are creating a new category of sound, and it feels so freaking aligned. And I just know, so we did our first podcast a year and a half ago or something. Yeah. I feel so different to that time that we recorded in LA. Was it LA, right?
Yeah, it was LA.
In LA, I feel completely different. I remember looking at clips from that podcast like a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I can't wait to do this again because there's so much more that I can give. I have learned so much over the past year and a half. Every year that passes that I'm on this journey of personal development, it happens faster and faster. The transformations, the amount that I can earn, the way that my life is just getting better and better. It's like literally a bell curve. You know, we were talking about investing last night. Yeah. It's like the compound effect. It's like more happens the longer I've done it. So I have just embodied it. And I can't wait to share everything I've uncovered in the past year and a half, especially since the last episode.
I am so excited. Also, you guys, for those of you who are new, this is the first time you're hearing Mimi. Mimi is 27 years old, okay? She manifested $1 million by the time she was 25. By the time she was 26, she is built and worth a multi-million dollar company. And that's just become a part of your identity. That's just who you are. And the reason I love being in your energy and hearing your story, because she literally this morning we talked all about our come up story and where we were. And she's like, I had $8 in my bank account. Yeah. Like I had no support. I had no financial support. And that's the thing that I always want to just scream into people's ear holes. And I'm sorry if I'm actually yelling into your ears right now, but like, go there with us. It is actually insanely easy to manifest massive amounts of stupid, crazy money that people think is not even possible because they're limited by their own belief system or their narrative or their money story. And so I'm just so excited that everyone even gets to just be in your energy, because even being in your energy is an activation of itself, because you are someone who's been like, yeah, it's $1 million is no big deal. What's 10 million? What's 100 million? We're limitless. And you are
so
limitless.
It's the thing is, everyone's going to notice, everyone listening, everyone watching, you are going to notice that when you start making money, it becomes natural. I make hundreds and hundreds of thousands a month, and it just feels natural to me. It doesn't feel weird. It feels normal. You don't think about it. And the trick to get there, and we're going to talk all about this today, but just to hone in on this one example, the trick to get there is to embody that energy before it happens. And I had to train myself to get comfortable with the energy of hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, Mimi, before it happened. And then it happened. So many people make this mistake where they wait for the thing to happen to then feel what it feels like to be fucking rich, to be abundant. But this is the trick. You need to feel it before you get there. And this is part of the step-by-step process that we're going to talk about today. But it's just, I get so fired up talking about this topic of money because I was so freaking broke and I was so tired of feeling that way. I wanted to live a big life, and money allows you to live a big life. Money is not everything. It's not the, only thing that brings you happiness, but it does bring you happiness. It does bring you freedom. It does bring you the ability to help and support the other people that you love in your life. It does give you the ability to give to causes that you care for. It gives you the ability to help as many people as you want to. It gives you a bigger life. So nothing about money, I believe, in my life is negative. I only see money in a positive light. And that's one of the big beliefs that you have to crash down as well. If you think that money is bad, and if you think that, you have a belief system that your parents maybe gave you about how money is a negative thing and people do bad things with money, that's one of the other things that I really, really think that you just have to get over to get to the next step.
Absolutely. And I feel that anybody who saw this episode and pressed play, there is a bigger, brighter reality. You know that you have the ability to make that kind of money. You know that you have gifts to share. And that's why I'm so excited that you're listening to this conversation, because like Mimi said, we are going to break it down. But like, if anybody even listened, if Age University has ever come across your desk, this is niche content, okay? Akashic Records, niche content. It's for a reason. And I believe in you guys. I know that everybody listening has the ability to make crazy, insane amounts of money, because it is a lot easier than I've ever thought possible. Even me, like the baseline each year gets higher and higher for how much I make each month, and I don't even think about it.
It feels natural.
It's so natural. Like even if there's a month where I'm like, oh weird, I don't have as many partnerships coming in, something else comes in, something else happens. It's like my baseline just continually rises. And so, but obviously now that we have Mimi here, like let's break it down step by step. Mimi, let's tell us, like, how did you go from being like, I have $10 in my bank account, I have no money. Mimi was she was telling me this morning. She's like, I was hustling. She was scrappy, you guys.
I was very scrappy. But I was never worried because I knew deep down that I was able to do this. It took me a while, and I started doing the work, personal development work, and I was young, 19 years old, living in London, literally working 4 jobs, dog walking, nannying, interning, working at juice bars. I was like trying to do it all. And I really had a vision set in my brain, a vision of being this successful entrepreneur. And I had to try many different things to get there. And I just kept going. Whenever I'd fail, I'd get back up, because I knew that failing got me one step closer to where I was actually meant to be, the business I was meant to have. That was actually one of the things that I did. I embraced failure. That was a massive, massive thing. But what I started doing when I was, 19 years old, $8 in my bank account, broke as a just completely broke. I could not even afford groceries at one point. I had to call my sister to order me an Uber because I was late for my juice bar job, and I just missed the bus, and I was like having a breakdown. I remember these moments, these pivotal moments. And what helped me is doing this personal development work, really understanding that I am the creator of my life. You are the creator of your life. You are so much more powerful than you think. And most people out there don't actually deeply believe that, and that is the problem, because the world wants to keep you small. We go to school to be taught to be employees. That's what school is for. They don't teach you to think big and to be an entrepreneur and to do something, different with your life, because it doesn't benefit the system. We need workers in society. So you need to just think outside of everything that you've ever believed. And at that point, I was doing a lot of research. I was listening to a lot of audiobooks, YouTube videos. I was reading a lot of books. And I realized that I needed to change my identity, my self-image, to align with the higher self version of me that has abundance, that has freedom, that has amazing ideas come to her, because that's what it's about too. It's about feeling magnetic and limitless and abundant. And I had to get into that future self energy before I ever experienced it. I was learning about this. And I knew that visualization was so important as well in this work. So I started trying to visualize. I would journal, I would, read, I would really try to get into this energy. And I couldn't stick to meditation. That was the one thing I couldn't stick to, because I felt like I just wanted something that would help invigorate me towards my goals, not calm my mind and make me think about nothing. I never resonated with traditional meditation. I tried, because all of the self-help gurus were telling me that this is so important, but I just couldn't stick to it. And I thought to myself one day, okay, I feel like there's an audio out there that I can be listening to that will help me visualize, but I can habit stack it. And just intuitively, I picked up my phone, and this was, one day when I was around 20 years old, and I was doing this work, and I couldn't meditate, and I picked up my phone, and I recorded a voice memo to myself, essentially just speaking my goals into existence. And it was me speaking like my goals had already come true, speaking like I knew what having millions of dollars in my bank account felt like, speaking like I found the love of my life and we have this beautiful relationship, speaking like I love my body and I've healed my relationship with my body and food. Speaking the things that I actually wanted, because I was so far away from that, into existence. And then I would listen to that audio in everyday moments, when I was walking to the gym, when I was cooking dinner, when I was making my bed, doing laundry, whatever it was, I would just listen to it. And it was kind of a replacement to a podcast or music or an audiobook. It was when I was in the mood to do something for my personal development and I wanted to feel really excited and invigorated towards my life. And I started, listening to these audios. I'd record more. I get bored of them very quickly, because it's like after a few days you want something new. And then I started recording it on my podcast microphone, because I had a podcast back then. And then I would add music behind it, because I know that music is so deeply powerful. Cinematic, moving music can change your state like nothing else. And I knew that. So I would take this motivational music off YouTube and I would add it to this GarageBand platform I had. And then I would make these audios and I'd listen to them in everyday moments. And then my life started changing. This is the craziest part. I would listen to these audios. I became addicted to them because they were so fun for me. I felt invigorated. I felt alive. I'd listen to these audios in everyday moments. And I keep saying in everyday moments, because that is very, very important. When you think new thoughts and think new beliefs in everyday moments that you do every day, like brushing your teeth, cooking dinner, walking to the gym, whatever it is, your brain starts changing. It's like the Pavlov dog theory. We've spoken about this. When you link new thoughts and beliefs to everyday actions, at some point you don't even need the morning walking activation when you're on your way to the gym to feel confident, abundant, unlimited. It just happens. You are training your brain. You are changing how your brain is wired. Okay, so anyway, fast forward a few more years, and I decided intuitively again to share these audios with the world. And that was about 3 years ago. And I shared them with the world and they blew up. And that was a perfect example of how I needed to go through this work myself to create something that the world needed. So long story short, that's a high level story. My story high level, and I guess we should get to the step-by-step process, because I completely disregarded that.
No, that's okay. I always love a backstory, and maybe someone hasn't listened to our previous episode. I know we touched on a few of those, but I found you exactly 3 years ago, and I told Mimi last night at dinner that I remembered she was going through so many major life shifts at the exact same time.
Yes.
And I joined her platform that was originally like a video audio combo platform. Yeah. Now her platform is just strictly audio.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, wow, I feel like we would be friends. I told her that at dinner. I was like, I feel like we have so much in common. And now look at us. Here we are. And so I'm glad that we can recap your story and bring everybody up to speed, because it is such an incredible story. And it's also such an intuitive story, how you had no idea how the money would come, how you're gonna make $1 million.
But I knew it was coming. I
just
just
knew it was coming.
I did the work. I felt it before it happened. And I guess this ties into step 1.
Yeah, let's take it away. Step by step, how to make $1 million. Take it away.
You need clarity on what you're going to do with that money. You need clarity on what it feels like to be a millionaire. Because most people that want $1 million don't even know what it's like energetically to have $1 million.
Tell us, what is it like? What is it like? Maybe be a multi-millionaire.
Well, it feels beautiful. It feels abundant. It feels big. It feels unlimited. It feels like everything is free. That's what it feels like when you walk into a store and you're trying to either buy groceries or go shopping. It's like whatever you want, you can have. That's what it feels like. It feels like when your family member comes to you and says, I'm really stressing out. This thing happened and we were supposed to get paid this thing and now it's delayed and I'm stressing out, or we're late on this credit card payment. It feels like you being able to protect and you being able to give. It feels like, don't worry, I got it. And that is the best feeling in the world to me. Like, honestly, when I first was in this process of wanting money, I was like, wow, what would it feel like to buy a Chanel bag? Like, I was more materialistic. But now, since having it for, 3 good years now, that doesn't fulfill me as much anymore. I have the bags. I don't care about that kind of stuff anymore, honestly. And I'll still buy it. But that being said, like, if I like something, I will buy it. But it doesn't fulfill me like being able to help the people that I love. Number 1. So you need clarity on that. And how it feels expansive. You must be able to just, and I acknowledge what it felt like before getting it, because I would study people that had it. Even me just telling you, the audience right now, what it feels like to have millions of dollars. Like, you can feel it in your body with me. This is the biggest thing. You don't need to wait to have it to feel it. You need to feel it now. Okay? So what it feels like, it's expansive, it's big, it's abundant. It's like, it feels like yes. It feels like anything is possible. You can go anywhere, do anything. Everything is possible.
Guys, we are recording live. There's a few boats and jet skis going by, so if you hear any random motors, but we're in an abundant space, and we had to be in a beautiful abundant space to record this, so please pardon any background noise. But back to you, Mimi. We had to pause for a quick second. Okay, so that is what it feels like to have
That's what it feels like. So the step 1 is clarity. You must get crystal clear on what the version of you looks like that has millions of dollars. Get so clear that you write out where that million is going to go, how you're going to get it. Like, you can't just think, okay, I want $1 million and it come to you. That's not the manifestation I talk about. I don't even like using the word manifestation sometimes because it has such a different connotation. Some people think it's like, oh, I'm thinking it and it appears. And it's like, that actually isn't how it works. How it works is you must first adjust your internal self-image to align with your future self that has everything that you want in life. And then naturally, you taking action is just second nature. So it's not about just thinking it and doing nothing. It is embodying your future self energy, because then you will naturally do those things. Guess what started happening when I started embodying the energy of my abundant millionaire future without having millions in the bank? Guess what started happening? I'd go to events. I'd meet people. People would want to give me opportunities. I was magnetic. People wanted to work with me. People wanted to pay me for things. It was crazy. It was like I had this magnetic energy inside of me, and I had this intense feeling that I am going places. It's crazy because the first night I met Ben, I was very broke. I was 21 years old. I was still kind of starting in my journey, and I met Ben, who's now my fiance, and he's been with me for almost 7 years at this point. And he said to me that the first night he met me, he knew that there was something different. He knew that I was going to be extremely successful. And I don't believe that that's because I am extremely special. I believe every single person has that inside of them, but I believe that I was tapping into it because I was hustling at that time. Around when I met him, I was so hungry for more. And he saw that in me because I was exuding it, because I was embodying it, because I was trying so hard, and I knew deep down that I could create this life. And the precursor to having clarity and to actually putting in the work to get clarity is understanding that you are 100% responsible for your life. What you want is completely possible. You can have it, okay? What does that even feel like? Having that feeling of you can have anything, you can have it all. Any life that you want, it can be yours. There is a possibility in the universe for that to be selected as your reality, because that feeling alone also feels like abundance to me. It feels like awe, it feels like bliss, it feels like aliveness. And you need to believe that your dream life is possible, because if you don't, none of this work is going to work. You're going to half-ass it without even realizing it. So step 0.1 is believe it's possible, okay?
Yeah.
Or step 0 is believe it's possible and understand that you are 100% responsible for your life. Step 2 is get crystal clear on what your future self is, or get crystal clear on who your future self is and what they would do with millions of dollars, with $1 million, where they would get that money. Is it from being an entrepreneur? Is it from commissions, from your real estate license? Is it, because you have this crazy opportunity fall in your lap and you get, casted for a TV show? Think about it. Like, for any possibility, if anything could exist, what would it be? And don't be so married to that idea, because it could come from anywhere. But just start getting clear and then take intentional action. Clarity on what it would feel like to have millions in your bank account. How does that feel to check your balance and be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool? Where would you put that money? Would you start learning about investing because you're like, okay, I have a lot of money, I should probably start investing some of this? Where would you learn about that? It's not like you're going to have $1 million in savings. As someone that now has a lot of money, most of my net worth is in my company that's worth tens of millions, but most of the cash I have is actually in the stock market because I learned about investing, and I find that incredibly important. And I am a big believer in investing in the stock market. I know some people aren't, but you can also invest in real estate. I own a home in London. I own real estate as well. It really depends on you, but I had to get crystal clear on what does my investment portfolio even look like. This is so fun to daydream about. What if you had $1 million or plus more, whatever number you actually want, what does that look like? I already know the breakdown of what my investment portfolio will look like when I have 50 million in cash. Like, I already know. And in the clarity bucket, you also need to understand how it feels inside of you when you're just walking down the road. How does your future self energy feel inside of you when you're just out living your life? Millionaire you, how does it feel? How does she hold herself? What's her posture like? How does she dress? How does she do her hair? How does she move? How does she speak? What is her vocabulary like? So clarity is the big step number 1.
Okay. Beautiful description. Thank you, Mimi. Okay, so while you were talking, I just had this random thought bubble that I wanted to share because maybe it'll spark something. It feels kind of random, but here we go. So 2 things that I like to play games with it, because I feel like someone who has come from maybe more of a lack mindset, or maybe just a family that struggled with money, you have to get really playful. That's just been my experience. You're really playful. And I did this with Austin a lot last summer. I would always we would go buy lottery tickets, and we would do it because I wanted to start just playing the game with him of like, okay, we win $900 million. What do you do? And I would make him like tell me everything. Like in this exact moment, what do you do with $1 million? Like, where do you want to live? Where do you want to buy? And it was really just like a playful game, because Austin is someone who isn't quite as into this teachings as Mimi and I, but there are so many ways that you can sort of trick yourself into this. And so while we were talking about winning the lottery, I had this story come through, I'm sure on TikTok or somewhere, and it was about a woman who became basically an actress, or she would take acting classes, and got all of her children to take acting classes, and they all went to some acting program, and they pretended, their whole role was that they pretended they won the lottery. So they would take these classes, and they would get up on stage, and they would, say they won the lottery, and they were like just embodying this energy literally as an actress, which, how fun is that? I went to acting camp as a little kid, so I'm like, what a fun way to do it. Guess what? She won the lottery. Like, she literally, that is how she told people, that's how she won the lottery.
That's
She sent her whole
amazing.
family. They all
Oh
went to
my
acting school,
gosh.
acted like actresses and
my
actors
gosh.
that they had already won the lottery. And she said the numbers just came to her in a flash. This bitch won the lottery. That's what I'm telling people. Like, even if Mimi's sitting here, yes,
my
she launched a successful app and has a tech startup and all of this amazing things. And for some of you, you're like, oh shoot, I don't have that, or I don't have those ideas. You never know. You could have some long lost relative who mysteriously dies and leaves you some money. Like, you never know.
But you need to get into the energy of it before getting the idea.
Yes.
I didn't just have this idea, then have, like, this idea came from me being committed to this work and creating something unique. You're so right. I love that concept of the
just and it's a big thing. Mimi teaches act as if, and it really is like, what a fun game. Like, even if you right now you're like, ooh, that feels, maybe I can't quite get there, or I feel like I need to play in the energy of waking up in the morning and be like, I'm an actress, and I'm going to act right now. I'm going to put on my lipstick. As someone who has millions of dollars in her bank account, I'm going to put on my mascara. I'm going to fluff my hair. I'm going to powder my nose. I'm going to zhuzh.
Okay, but then here's this. I get this question often. It's like, okay, but how do I do that, Mimi, when I don't have that money and I can't be actually living that life? I can't be purchasing these things that I want to. And I have an answer. I have a really good answer.
Take it away.
Okay, so that feeling of expectancy needs to be so damn strong. So think about it this way. If you were given a big opportunity right now and someone was like, okay, you're going to get this new job, you're getting paid $1 million a year, you're starting in 2 weeks because you have to give your 2 weeks notice where you're currently working, and you start in 2 weeks and we have the contract signed and you're going to start this job. Or even you get this movie role, you start X and here's the contract and here's when you get paid. And it's like locked in. The money, though, is in transit. Even when someone gives you a bank transfer, sometimes for a large amount, it takes like 2 to 5 business days. But you know it's coming because you have the receipts and you know it's already on its way. Your energy, your vibration will be different in those 2 to 5 business days because you know it's already yours. You already identify as a millionaire. So you need to get into that energy before it happens. You need to get into that energy of, oh, it's already mine, but it's just in transit. That is the trick. So if you feel like you do not know how to get into that millionaire energy because there are no 6 zeros in your bank account yet, or how many zeros is that? 9 zeros.
I don't know.
Let's try to do the math here. 7 figures. You can't get into that energy because that 7-figure number is not in your bank account yet. Get into the energy of expecting it because you already have the proof. And the proof is your deep belief that it is possible for you. Your energy is a magnet, so you need to embody it before it comes to you and take the necessary action steps and embody it so the action steps become easy. Because if you don't identify as a runner, you're not going to wake up in the morning and want to go on a run. But I know so many runners that get up in the morning and go on a run with ease, and they feel weird if they don't go on a run because they identify as a runner. It's the same thing with money.
I now identify as a multi-millionaire, and that's that. Well, and I love what that example of saying, it's in transit, starting 2 weeks on Monday, you've got $1 million salary coming. And here's the thing, like for me, I'm just thinking, I would wake up, I would get my little iced beverage in the morning. I'd be skipping and singing and whistling down the street because life is gravy. It's not like I'm going to go out and start spending money that I don't have. Like, oh, I've got this money, I'm going to buy a Chanel bag. Like, that's what we're saying. You don't need any money to just feel excited about what's coming.
And don't you want to respect your money?
Yes.
I don't want to go spend all of it because I respect my money. I love my money. I want it to grow, so I invest it so that my money makes money. When you actually have wealth and you actually make money, you don't want to just spend it because you appreciate it, you love it, you know that it can build more and more. And that's what changes when you're truly wealthy and you truly feel rich. You don't feel like you need to spend loads of it to impress people. You spend on what you deeply want to spend on, and that's it.
I couldn't agree more because I definitely feel that I can just be like I do a lot of manifestation at the airport. I don't know why. I feel like it's just like, it's a weird portal. There's a lot of energy there. Like nobody knows me. I'm just like strutting around. And I always I can be like walking from one terminal to another and I will just turn it on. I'm like, I am an actress. I am making millions of dollars. I, have the #1 podcast in the world. Like, you just make up a storyline. And that's what we're saying. Like, you don't need a single material thing or any money to even play in that realm. It's all about, you can turn it on at any moment. You don't have to be sitting Indian style on top of a mountain in deep meditation, like Mimi's saying. And meditation is great and it serves a purpose for, you know, certain things. But when you really want to make a change, because a lot of people maybe meditate and there's no change happening. That's where Mimi comes in.
It's not really designed for that.
Yeah.
Meditation is designed to calm your body, calm your nervous system, clear your mind. I don't know about you, but that's not for me in this phase of my life. In this phase of my life, I am manifesting more. I am becoming my future self. I don't need to listen, I could calm down a little bit, but I don't want to. I have energy. I want to go.
Yeah.
I'm not in that era to just calm my mind. I want to go. And that's what activations are for. So can I talk about step 2?
Yeah.
All right. You have clarity. You believe that you are exactly where you need to be and that you are the creator of your life and you take 100% responsibility for your life. Then what? You become her. You become your future self. Step number 2 is becoming, and there are so many things that I have to say about becoming because it's not actually super easy. You need to know all the tools because you can't just tell yourself, okay, I'm a different human today, and then you perfectly act as that different human for the rest of your life. We're human beings, and we need to understand that perfection is not the goal when it comes to this. It's bouncing back very fast. I have created this life that I now live today without ever having one perfect day. Over the past decade, I've completely transformed my life. I've never had one perfect day. I have never had one day where I wake up with the sun at 5 a.m. I do an hour-long meditation or activation. I cold plunge. I work out. I eat organic. I don't procrastinate all day. I think positive thoughts. I've never had a perfect day. Ever, ever, ever. And no one human in the world has ever had one perfect day where they didn't slip up once. So going back to the point, with becoming, you don't need to be focused on perfection. That will actually hold you back. Perfection and the obsession with perfection will hold you back. What you need to focus on is how quickly you bounce back from being the old self to the future self, the old self to the new self, the old self to the abundant, unlimited version of you that actually already exists in this moment. So acting as if is one way that you can become it, just feeling it in your body. Listening to activations in everyday moments is literally what these audios are made for. Activations are designed to help you become your future self in everyday moments. There are over 15 different categories of activations on the app. You can do it while walking, while cooking, while sitting down if you want to do more of a meditation-like experience with your eyes closed, but it's totally different. The music, the words, the guidance, the visualization. There's no silent sitting in activations in Superhuman. But you have to act as if you're already that person in everyday moments. Because when you learn how to do that, it changes your life over time. So it actually doesn't even have to take long, by the way. You say in 12 months to make $1 million. If you really tuned into this and you really took the right action and you really embodied that energy, it can happen quicker. It can happen in a week. It can happen in a month. There is no limit. There is no limit. And that's what we need to talk about here. It's like, anything is possible. So when you select who you want to become and you get that clarity and you act as if, think big. So don't limit yourself. Don't make yourself small. Don't think, oh, maybe realistically I can make 50,000 extra this year. It's like, no, think huge. What if something comes to you that could change your whole life? What if you come up with an idea that could add value to millions of people and you find a partner and you launch it next week and it's like, whoa, anything is possible. Just like that lottery story. Mm-hmm. If that is what you want, anything is possible. So when it comes to becoming, you must really embody that future self frequency, the energy we were talking about earlier, in everyday moments. And you need to keep showing up as her, keep being resilient. And in that breaking point moment when you feel, oh, I've been trying this and it's not working and I need to, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe I need to just try something else. It's like you need to just keep going because you're right there. Not everyone is going to do this because most humans give up before they actually see the results. Look around. That's why there's a 1%. You, by following these steps, can become that 1%. And I think activations and embodying the future self energy, changing your self-image, I think that's the hack. I think that's the shortcut. I tried it every other way. I tried it in a way where it's like matter to matter, me really hustling and really trying, but not actually just like tweaking it and feeling the energy before it happened. I tried that at the beginning of my journey. It didn't work. And now by practicing what I preach, I am in a completely different place to how, I am actually pretty damn shocked. My inner child is looking at me and she's like, damn, you did it. And it gets better and better. I'm not even shocked at this point when, well, my company has like gone wild over the past year. Like, I haven't even paid for much marketing. My company's been around now for almost 3 years. I barely even pay for marketing, and it's like blowing up. It is like spreading like wildfire, it feels. And that feeling of like, oh my gosh, every day we're having like huge sales, our numbers are growing, the team is messaging me in Slack saying, oh my gosh, like look at the sales from yesterday, like this person just posted, or that just happened, or look at this testimonial, this person just changed their lives and like healed themselves and started making insane amounts of money. Like literally that's the energy in our Slack channel. And that is the energy that I manifested 3 years ago. I'm like, this is what the team's going to say. This is what our new data analyst is going to say. I visualized literally 3 months ago, we had this big marketing initiative that we invested in. And when I was visualizing and activating on what that's actually going to end up being like, I envisioned my data analyst, Frank, his face on our Zoom call being like, wow, guys, look at these numbers. Like, I know the way he talks. And I envisioned him literally being like, damn, okay, like the data is looking good. Like, here's the LTV, here's the churn rate, we're looking good. Like, I literally envisioned it. And it happened last week after seeing the numbers. And I just didn't even, at first I just didn't even realize because it felt so natural to me. And then the other day I was like, damn, I actually visualized that. And he said it in pretty much a very similar way to how I envisioned it. So yeah, that's what I want to say here. It's like, you just have to stay, I don't even want to say the word positive. It's like, stay focused, stay inspired, stay starry-eyed, bright-eyed, big vision energy, like big money energy, like stay in that frequency. And when it comes to becoming, there are so many things that we could cover. Another one is stop hanging around people that lower your vibration. When I was first on this journey, I had to get rid of a lot of friends that did not align with where I wanted to go. They didn't all have to be millionaires. I just wanted them to be inspiring and motivated about life. Just like someone that wanted a bigger life. I didn't want to hang around the people that didn't want that because they brought me to this level. I wanted to be at this level. I wanted to get higher. I wanted to get bigger. I wanted to think bigger. So you're an average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with most. If you want to be a millionaire, look around you. Are your friends millionaires, or are they on their way there? Are they victims, or are they responsible for their life, taking full ownership for what they've created up to this day? And are they there working every day to get to that vision, to reach that goal? That's something else I'll say. The friends, your circle, it's mega. It is so important. I'd rather be alone than with people that bring me down.
Or who don't support you. And I also just want to add in a little tidbit, because maybe some of you guys listening are like, I don't have any friends who are as ambitious, or I've had friends that have been my friends my whole life. Here's the thing. Right now, in this exact moment, we're not going to say go out and get all new friends, but you can start consuming books by millionaires. You can listen to podcasts from people who are millionaires, who are investing. You can surround your energetic field in this exact moment. I mean, you're listening to Mimi. There are so many resources available. And once you tune into that frequency, you will attract people who are, it doesn't mean you have to like cut everyone out of your life. It might naturally happen over time, but not to scare people. But I mean, that's how it is in my life. Like once I moved to Florida, I kind of started all over on connections, and then I've connected with people like Mimi and people who are on the same vibration of me, who are just starry-eyed and excited about life. And I'm just optimistic. I'm just expecting good things to happen because that's just my life and that's just how it goes. And everything's always working out for me.
And you don't have to be born like this, is the other thing. Like, you can come from a belief system that is so negative and so victim mentality and still reach this level of success. But you need to be aware that these beliefs are not true. You need to be aware that whatever belief you select is actually going to show you in your life that that belief is true. We've spoken on the original podcast about the RAS, the reticular activating system. That is a filtration system in your brain that literally decides what you notice and what you don't notice. When you are changing your beliefs and your thoughts, when you are embodying a new energy, when you're listening to activations all day, you're going to start seeing the world differently. You are going to start seeing opportunities, business opportunities, relationships that you could probably have that might help you in the future, that you might benefit from, that you could help them too. You know, romantic relationships. Like, I might have not seen Ben If I wasn't in that energetic frequency, I don't know if I've said this on the last podcast, but I actually recorded one of those voice memos the day before I met Ben on October 12th, 2017. It is on my phone still. It is a voice memo describing my future life, and I described Ben perfectly. Tall, handsome, dark hair, loves me so deeply. He's obsessed with me. We have movie moments all the time. He is British. He looks like this. He acts like this. He's charming. And he has eyes just for me, and I am his queen, literally.
And you are his queen.
I met him on October 13th, 2017. He walked through the doors, and I was like, that is him. It is crazy how these things happen. You need to get crystal clear and have faith. Don't give up. Have faith. So step 2 is becoming. And step 3 is maintain that. Stop just overthinking it. Just keep going. Keep going. Because the moment you quit is when you fail. That's it.
And also, why would you ever quit? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Why would you ever quit?
It's enjoyable to do this.
It is fun. And also, if it doesn't work, so what? Try again.
Yeah.
I have started over. I have rebranded. I have changed names. I have started companies. I have built this. I have built that. Whenever I tell people like, oh yeah, my podcast, it immediately went #1 on Apple. People are like, wow, overnight success. I'm like, yeah, but I posted every day for 9 years. Like, one thing about me, you cannot outrun me. I'm a machine. I will literally never quit. I will never stop.
And guess where that energy comes from? It comes from the deep belief that you can get there.
And Mimi and I both talked about that this morning. That was one thing we really had in common. You know, when we were little, we're like, I feel like I'm meant to do something. I feel like I'm meant to help people. I feel like I'm meant to connect with people on a large scale. And you know what? Nobody believed me. Love my family. But they were like, you're moving to Nashville to do the content creator thing. Like, kind of like,
oh my.
Good luck. And Mimi said the same thing. She's like, everyone in her family was kind of like,
My uncle was like, moving to London, try to become an entrepreneur. Like, see you in 3 months. You're going to fail. And I remember feeling so hurt the moment he said that. I remember where I was sitting. This was a decade ago. Okay? I remember where I was sitting at my grandmother's house, and my uncle said, see you in 3 months. You're not going to last. You're going to run out of money, and you're going to fail. But, like, he didn't say it in a mean way. He was joking. But that joke was so harsh. I also remember there was this girl. I went to university for, like, a semester in Canada, and there was this girl who was my next door neighbor who I was friends with at the beginning of university because she was a partier and I was a partier back then. And then when I was about to drop out, I actually decided, you know what, I need to stop drinking. I need to get my shit together. I need to start reading personal development books and starting to do the work. And I had this vision that I wanted to move to London and start my own online magazine, which was my first business. And I started really feeling motivated and inspired to get there. And I stopped drinking. I stopped going out. And this girl started hating me because she was like, wait, you're making me feel bad about myself. Like, she didn't say that, but she was like, you're making me feel bad about myself now because you're getting healthy and you have a vision now and you're trying to do something with your life. She's just there smoking weed, doing coke all day, looking like an absolute degenerate. Anyway, I know that's a bit mean, but she was so awful to me. And I was her, like, right next door neighbor in our dorm room, or in our dorm hall. And I, when I was packing up my bags, because I was leaving soon, I overheard her. She didn't think I was home. I overheard her talking to another one of my very good friends. And they were talking crap about me, and they were making fun of me and thinking, oh, Mimi thinks she's going to go and, like, go to London and become an entrepreneur and have a magazine. And they were, like, dying of laughter, making fun of me. And I was there sitting on the floor, my back against the wall where they were, crying my eyes out. And then I got up, and I had this deep feeling inside of me. I was like, wait, what am I doing? This is part of my story. I'm going to remember this. I want to go let some energy out and feel alive. I want this to fuel me. That's what I did. I put my running shoes on. I opened the door because their door was open. That's how I could hear them as well. So I opened the door. I made myself present. I looked at them with sympathy. I didn't say a word. I slammed my door shut, and I went on a long run. I ran like 10 kilometers, and I was listening to this motivational music, and I just felt different. I felt so empowered, and I was hungry to prove everyone wrong. Everyone listening right now, if you're at the beginning of your journey, you very well may have no one that believes in you. You need to be the one that believes in yourself. And that sounds corny, honestly it does. But you genuinely need to have this deep faith, this deep vision inside of you. And when things like that happen, when someone makes fun of you for your vision, when someone doesn't believe in you, you need to put up a shield And you need to remember that this is just part of your story. 5-10 years from now, you may remember this story. Say it on a podcast one day like I did. Or you may remember it and tell your kids and inspire your kids. It is so essential for you to have that belief in yourself, because if you don't, you will never find success. If you rely on what other people say about you, on other people's opinions, you will never be successful. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given was, do not take advice from someone who does not have the life you want. My
Amen.
random uncle, love him, bless him, but he is not a tech company owner that's a multi-millionaire. Like, he doesn't have the life I want. I love him and I love my family, but like, he didn't go into the field that I wanted to go into. He didn't know anything about what I was doing. That random next door neighbor girl, it's like, I want nothing to do with your life. You're like a druggie and you fucking hate yourself. Like, I don't want to be that. So why would I listen to those people? I need to stay strong in my vision, my faith, and keep going and stay resilient.
I feel that was exactly how I was. And another piece of advice, I love that. Never take advice from someone who's not living the life that you want. It's like, how would you know? Why would I listen to you? Like, what? I think about that all the time to this day, because people love to give advice on the internet, and, you know, people love to send things, and I know it's coming from a place of love, but you have to have that discernment. And also with the beginning of the journey, telling people, like, that's kind of goes back to who you surround yourself with. But I never share my goals or my big ideas. I could tell Mimi right now, I want to manifest being the first woman on Mars. I could say something so ridiculous, and Mimi would, she holds the belief. She knows that anything's possible. So I would tell her my biggest, wildest, craziest dream, because she's like, done. Yeah, absolutely. That reality, here's the thing, already exists. I always tell people, the moment that you have an idea, that idea is coming from a reality that already exists. So whatever idea that you have, the solution.
Listen, if that's what you want, I have no doubt that Elon Musk will reach out to you, be like, we're going to Mars, bitch, and you're coming.
Exactly. Like, but that goes to say that you know, not that Mimi was in the wrong and not that I was in the wrong, but I had many family members that I told my big dreams, and they're all kind of like, I don't know. There's a lot of people doing the whole influencer thing, the whole content creator thing. It's probably not going to work out for you. Going back, I wish I had just never even told those people, because I feel like it's such a, I don't know, gentle time where you're really excited about it. And sometimes when you tell people who aren't going to meet that excitement, it sort of like takes away from a little bit of the momentum. So I feel that's some advice to my younger self, that like only share those big, exciting dreams that just give you this like rush of energy in your body. Only share those with people who are also chasing and creating those big dreams. The AG University community, the Dancing Unicorns, anybody that is going to meet you there and support you. And that's a big part of why you want your circle to have some people that are just, even if maybe they're not there, but they'll hold the vision with you. They're not going to cut you down, or they're not going to say, good luck. Yeah, it's not going to work, because we don't need that. We don't have time for that. And they're not doing the thing that we're here to do. And if you feel it in your heart, like I said, there's already a version of you that's already doing it. That's my favorite thing. If you have this vision, this dream, even though you're like, this sounds crazy or this is outlandish, it's not crazy. It's not outlandish. You wouldn't have that thought in your brain if it wasn't a possibility. It would not even come to you. I've never once in my brain had a thought of having a startup industry company that Mimi has, but that was a unique thought for her. Any dream that's been placed on your heart, it already exists.
And you might fail certain visions, and there is a art in picking yourself back up and trying something new once you have, quote, failed one vision. I had to go through 3 very big potential business ideas that I actually executed, and they all failed, to then get to the Superhuman era. And I am so happy that I went through those 3 failures, because they weren't meant for me. There's always something better. If something is a no, I deeply believe there is always something better. So I have that feeling of, all right, it is what it is. I have been at the pinnacle of this humongous project that would have literally changed my entire life. The pinnacle. I remember the moment. I don't know if I've told you the story, actually. When I was 21, I created a TV show. When I was actually 20, I created a TV show, and it was going to be about my family. And I found a producer that I was like, let's make this happen. All the women in my family are like amazing, and we would have been perfect for a new type of Kardashian-like TV show. Okay. So I had this vision. I was like, this is huge. We need to make this happen. And I spent 2 years with that producer trying to create this TV show. We had filmed a pilot. We had a production company. I was signed to WME in LA. We were all like, let's go. We had E in the US pick us up. And this was back 7 years ago when, you know, E was really, really big, and it wasn't like Hulu, Netflix as big yet. So it was the best possible channel we could have ever had. And they said yes. And I have contracts that my agent, my top agent at WME sent me. I was going to be an executive producer at 20 years old for this mega show. They were going to blow it up. I was going to be a cast member and an exec producer and a co-creator of the show, all in the credits. Mimi Bouchard, 20 years old, a prodigy. I thought, I was like, this is my moment. Wow. And I was so confident. I was so ready. I was like, this is it. And everyone had signed the contracts except for one. And that one person in my family was necessary for the project. And last minute, there was a big family fight. As the drama is in my family, we were too dramatic to get a TV show. And last minute, it fell apart. And I had literally the contracts. It was about to change my life. I had no idea what to do with my life. And this TV opportunity would have literally changed my life and changed my whole family's lives. And last minute, there was a fight and someone pulled out and it failed, and they wouldn't do it without the whole group. And I tried so hard. It was a 2-year project. I had started it actually when I was 20 until 22 years old. They said that they wouldn't, like, the whole thing fell out when I was 21, and we tried to keep pitching it to other networks for the year after without that one person, and it didn't work. And it was 2 years of my life, so everything unpaid, just like full grit, full manifesting, me envisioning what it would feel like to have this life, to have this abundance, to have this opportunity, and it didn't happen. And guess what? I am so blessed it didn't happen then, because I was not right. I was not in the right place in my life. It was not the right time for me to do something like that. And I needed to have that big failure to then do the next thing, to then do the next thing, to then bring me to Superhuman, because I'm helping way more people than I would with a TV show. And this is deep, genuine, like, passion work is what I do. Being on a TV show would not be passion work for me. Superhuman is passion work. It is purpose work. It is my why. And that's just one example of an absolutely disastrous failure. And I was so damn close. And I could have had it so easy my first time around with this, you know, new type of entrepreneurial mind of mine. And I didn't. And that's okay. So I look back and I'm so grateful. And you know what's funny, AG? I think back and I was upset and I was anxious and I was stressed for like a week or two. And then I got back up and I just tried the next thing. I kept going. I was like, okay, I know this is still meant for me. So it's another way.
There's another way. There's always another way. Yeah. And also that's part of that failure. That's what I'm saying. Like, every single failure, every single rebrand, every single thing that I've ever done has all been a very strategic part of this, like, universal formula that I'm living. Yeah. Everything has been so integral to everything that I've manifested up until this point. So everyone listening, it's like, you've just got to know, if you fail, bounce back rate even faster, even quicker. Amazing. That's one thing that's not for me right now in this moment. Who knows?
Who knows?
TV show could come back for you in years. Could come back for your family.
There's already things peeping up with crazy. I'm not going to talk about it because it's like, I've also realized I don't talk about things until it's actually set in stone now.
Yeah.
If only I could tell you guys what is going on now. But I won't. That is, stay tuned if it actually happens. There are so many things like that show up, you know, and it's like, you really, once you start experiencing this success, like when at the beginning I would tell everyone, oh my god, we have a TV show and I got the contracts, didn't freaking happen, and now it's like, oh damn it, you know. So just keep it to yourself until it happens is another wise piece of advice.
Well, and that's kind of how I felt too. I told Mimi this morning, which I think I've talked a little bit on the podcast, but I've been cast on reality TV almost every year of my life since I was 25. For a while when I was in my single phase, I was always the fun single friend. They'd be like, oh, we want you to go on this show or this one, and it was always come down to the dotted line. I remember I had my attorney talk me out of one that I almost did because it was during COVID and I was just like bored and existing alone in my house. My attorney was like, this is not what you want. This is not really where your business is headed.
Love that.
I know. And I was like, there was a part of me that it was just like you. I was like, yeah, this could be fun. This could be good. If anything, it's good exposure. But I was like, this isn't my story. This isn't my journey. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it looks like. But I know there's always going to be another opportunity that's more aligned or something better. So I know that's going to happen for you. But it's like,
I'm just open to it. I'm like, whatever.
But I think that you and I both live in the frequency of just being open to any possibility.
Yes, exactly. And that's why it comes to us.
Yeah.
And that's why it comes in and out. And you can just like, that's how it feels. It feels like there's just opportunity anywhere, everywhere. And you could just like select.
And you really don't have to grip too hard. That's what I'm telling people. Like, just because I turned down one TV show, some people have the mindset. They're like, oh my God, I'll never get this opportunity again. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's never a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Well, it is if you have that mentality.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be so many opportunities floating around. And that's how I want people's minds to be expanded. There's so many different ways that you can make $1 million. There's so many other opportunities that can come to you. If you close one door, there's just going to be like 5 more that open.
Yes.
And that's a belief system even that you should start practicing. That there are, you have no idea. Your story could be so exciting and such an adventure. And you just have to step into that and just be like, show me something good. Surprise me.
Life is worth living. And the last thing I want to say, because obviously this podcast is all about money and abundance. Don't wait to be happy until you make money. Don't wait to love your life until you make money. If I could go back, I would have enjoyed my life a little bit more along the process, because where you are right now in life is so unique to where you're going to be in the future. This is the only time you're ever going to have this exact same existence, this exact era, this exact phase. You're only ever going to live in this exact moment once. So why don't you just appreciate it? Romanticize it. If you're in this tiny 200 square foot studio apartment like I was when I was first starting, romanticize this era, this phase, this process. Because when you are a multi-millionaire living in this beautiful home and you have everything you want, you're going to reminisce on those days. Those were the days where you were working towards something. And we're human beings. We are growth-focused creatures. We want to grow. We want to achieve. We want to have goals. We want to be in the process of evolving. Because that's just who we are. You know, if you stop growing, you start dying, I believe. I think that to feel alive, you need to keep working towards something. Even now, I have a pretty damn incredible life. I still have goals because it drives me. It makes me feel good. But the difference between now and then is that I'm actually really enjoying my life in the process. And I think if I was able to allow myself to do that more at the beginning, I would have just probably been able to manifest it faster, number one. And number two, just enjoyed life a little bit more. You're only going to live this phase of your life once. So even if you're not exactly where you want to be right now, enjoy your life while striving for more. Enjoy your life while you are creating this future. Because what is life about? It's about enjoying your life. You're waiting to be financially free to enjoy your life. That's so silly. Why do that? You can enjoy your life now in the process. Bring it to you faster and just create a more pleasant existence. That is one of the number one things that I've learned over the past 5 years. It's like, yes, I've achieved all these goals now, but it's like I still keep having other goals that I add on to my plate. But this has taught me that I'm never going to be perfectly exactly where I want to be, because I'm always going to be striving for more. It's just who I am. So you have to enjoy yourself in the process, enjoy your life in the process, live in the moment, and embody that future self energy while you're living in the moment. And that will magnetize it to you faster while you can enjoy this beautiful, precious present moment.
Beautiful. I feel like this is a live activation. Just hearing it in my ears, I'm like, yes, that's exactly. And I feel recently, this is like the third time I've heard that from someone successful sitting in front of me, or maybe someone older or wiser than me or whatever. Yeah. And they're always saying, damn, I wish I enjoyed that time more. I wish I let myself have more fun. I wish I, because it's like you already know, you already believe it's going to happen, and we don't know the how. So we might as well have fun and feel good along the way.
I think back to that Mimi, and I'm like, the one with $8 in her bank account. I'm like, I fucking love you. Like, you are so amazing. Like, you're just living your life knowing that it's coming. She was very focused, but I wish I could go back and tell her, enjoy this phase, because in just 2 years, you're going to meet the man you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Go have fun.
Yeah. And also, like, I feel like I would tell myself, like, relax.
Relax. It's happening. It's coming.
It's
Relax.
happening. It's coming. Just relax. Like, drop your shoulders.
It's actually already on its way.
Yeah, it's already on its way. We don't have to continue to check the tracking. It's happening. Just believe it. Mimi, thank you so much for coming on AGU Round 2. We're so excited to have you, and I can't wait for everyone to listen to this episode because I know it's going to change people's life and awaken them to a new timeline they didn't even know they had access to. And everyone listening has the ability to be a millionaire. Like you said, it doesn't even have to be 12 months. It could be in a year. It could be a month. You could walk outside and win the lottery tomorrow. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
And I will link everything. I have a special little collection that Mimi and I created together with all of my favorite activations, my walking activations, ones that I love to get ready to. Everything is going to be linked in the show notes.
And if you go to the link in the show notes, you can actually see the playlist that I specifically use to manifest more money. On our landing page, by the way, there's a whole playlist of my money manifestation activations and then your just general favorite activations. So just go to the link in the description. I think it's actually just activations.com/AG, right?
I think so. I'll link it.
Yeah, link it just in case, but I'm pretty sure it's activations.com/AG. And if you guys want to sign up for Superhuman and try our activations for 2 weeks free and actually get over 60% off a membership, go to the link. You can only get this exclusive discount on that link on our website, not on the App Store. You won't get the discount on the App Store. Apple doesn't let you do that. So go to the link, go check out our favorite activations, learn a bit more about the platform, and then if you want to try the 2-week free trial, sign up there. Get over 60% off. We also have a money back guarantee. We wanted to offer a very extended free trial to all of our users and a money back guarantee because we are so confident in these activations and how life-changing they are. We get testimonials every single day from our users saying how this app has changed their life. And it works. So we wanted to give you an extended period of time to feel the shift. In 2 weeks, you can feel a significant shift if you just listen. All you need to do is press play, habit stack it. Don't carve out more time in your day for another self-care practice. Just habit stack it. Listen to it in the background of your life. You will feel the shift. And if you don't, you get your money back.
Beautiful. And I will say, this is the first time there's ever been a discount ever. You guys.
We don't do discounts.
They don't ever do any type of promo. So jump on this and you can feel a difference in 2 weeks, 14 days. Do this every day for 14 days. And you don't have to add anything else. You don't have to get up earlier.
No.
I told Mimi, like, I do all kinds of things. I've used this app every single day since I've downloaded the app. And that's how I connected with Mimi. I literally was a consumer. I just loved the app. And then she hosted a retreat and I was like, I want to go on this retreat and meditate with this girl in person because I'm just so intrigued. Like I was a consumer and now I'm here. And I use the app every single day. And some days I will just lay in bed and hit play and just breathe, do the breathing exercises with Mimi. And then some days I'll do get ready in my wealthy energy and put on my makeup.
Oh my gosh. I just forgot one tip I forgot to say.
Tell
when
us.
you just said the future self breath. So it's not a breath work app, but we have a few activations that's like breathe in your future self energy because this is a very actionable tip that you don't even need Superhuman for. And this helps you in the becoming category. Last quick tip of the episode.
Yeah.
So this is something that I have started doing when I'm not feeling like my future self, and it still happens to me all the time. If I'm out for dinner and something triggers me, or I'm just not feeling great about myself, or whatever it is, I will intentionally breathe in my future self energy and then sigh out, exhale my old self energy. Breathe in your light future self energy and then breathe out any stale energy that is in your body that you want to remove. So that's trick number 1, actionable step that you can take to feel like your future self in the moment. And then another one that I do is sometimes when I walk through doorways or archways or get into a car and open a door and go from one place to another, I will intentionally just quickly in my brain make the intention, okay, the moment I pass this threshold, I'm going to be my future self. And I'm walking and I'm like, okay, one more step. And then I walk in and I just embody this future self energy. So whenever you go through a doorway or go into your car, or open a door, that is another amazing way to just tap into it in everyday moments without even the app. So just wanted to mention that because I think those two kind of more actionable tips are very powerful as well.
Yes, absolutely. Doors are portals. I always tell you that. I think doors are portals. You have the ability to shift your energy as you cross through any doorway. That's like a very ancient, like it's written in fairy tales.
Yes.
There's always an archway or a door or something. So yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about downloading Superhuman and doing the activations is that you really start to learn how to apply this energy and this behavior in every single moment, even when you're not even on the app. It's like you can cross through a door, you can do these things, but training my brain every single morning. I breathe in my future self energy. That's one of my favorite ones. It's literally 3 minutes.
It's one of our pep talks, I think.
3 minutes.
We have a pep talk category where everything's like 2 to 5 minutes, and it's just like a quick pep talk. And then we have like a getting ready category where it's like affirmations with cool music while you're getting ready for your day or getting ready before bed. And then we have our walking category, which is my personal favorite. And these walking activations are like cinematic movie moment. You're the main character. Like, you will feel significantly different after a walking activation. One of my new favorites is our new one called Become Your Magnetic Future Self. Just download the trial and try that one, and you will transform in like a matter of 20 minutes. We have seated ones, like I mentioned. We have cooking, cleaning, legs up wall, workout, running, like motherhood. We have every kind of category.
I love the cooking ones because I always like bless Austin and Zane and I's meals and infuse them with love. And it's just so fun. It makes very just simple daily tasks so much more enjoyable because it was like last night at dinner, Mimi and I got mocktails and we spoke intention into our drinks. I'm like, you can make any moment powerful. Anything, doing the laundry, cooking, moment. Making soup, you can make it powerful. And that's why I love the activations, because I always tell everyone there is something for everyone. There is one activation for every moment of your day, driving in the car, whatever your commute. You don't have to make any crazy lifestyle change. You just got to press play. Okay.
Transformation is not about one massive step. It's about the little tiny things you do daily, your energetic shifts throughout the day. And this is how to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've changed my life, and I love listening to you in my ear holes every single morning. And you guys, I'm going to link everything in the show notes. Like we said, they don't typically do sales or promo or anything. So it's a real honor and a treat that I get to share it with you guys. And Mimi, I just love you so much.
I love you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Mwah.
Mwah.
As always, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you feel so called or if it feels aligned, I would love for you to leave me a review here. I always love reading your beautiful thoughts and messages. And also you can find me at Anna Grace Newell on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I will link all of my courses, AG University course curriculum in the show notes, along with if you're interested in booking an Akashic Records reading with me. My scheduling link goes out in my newsletter. It goes out once a month and it's completely free. I would love to have you there. As always, I'm a proud professor and you get an A+ for making it all the way through the end. Love you.